Well, talking about shining lights, as you segued earlier.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Kanye, right? And the business deals he's been making in lockdown. He's making
Ooh.
some very interesting ones, hasn't he?
Indeed so, man. So what we got for the first one?
So they've got that partnership. I think it was just announced today, right? Where he's partnered with Gap for a kind of, I think it's a menswear, women's wear, and kids wear range at Gap. I think from what I read, it will be under the brand Yeezy as well. So it's not going to be like just Gap branding, but it's going to be Yeezy branding in Gap. But yeah, what do you think about that, man? Gap's an interesting brand. Like,
so I was
Gap's kind of been dying, I think. No?
Yeah, man. So I was gonna ask, what was your view on Gap before all of this, like Yeezy stuff?
Well, Gap's one of those interesting ones, right? Like, I don't know about you, but like previously, before, like Gap was mainly just for like essentials. Like, you know, like plain t-shirts, and everyone had the kind of standard Gap hoodie or t-shirt or something. But it wasn't really like, there were big stores in the UK, like there was one on Oxford Street and stuff like that. But I always felt like Gap was way bigger in America,
100%,
than it was here. But yeah, it's in the UK, it's been kind of like a dying brand. For the maybe like last 5-10 years. You know, you see less and less stores, you see less and less people wearing kind of Gap stuff out and about. I'm trying to think if even I have any Gap stuff, and I don't think I do. No, I have no Gap stuff. So interesting, but obviously, you know, if there's any reason for people to go back to Gap, anything with the branding Yeezy on it, that's going to get the people flocking back, no doubt, back to Gap.
Yeah, bro. Like, Kanye, if he puts his name on it, then that's it, man. People, it's gonna somehow become like this hype beast type of product.
Yeah,
like, it's gonna be like collectibles and all this stuff, but hopefully he's not gonna make it like that, and he's gonna make it like really like simplistic, like maybe like neutral colors and stuff. And actually target what he was saying about for all these years. I think like 2015 he was speaking about this, like I'm gonna be the Steve Jobs of Gap and all of this stuff.
Yeah,
and he's really trying to make this like brand into something, probably reviving it, to be honest.
He's probably going to rescue Gap, isn't he?
Yeah. Their stock jumped like 42% or something crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, wow, like the power of one man could do this.
Yeah, that's mad. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like, you made an interesting point there. I think it will be. We'll wait and see what happens, whether they kind of follow the whole limited release stuff, or whether they decide to go for the more, you know, mass market, make Yeezy available to everyone. Which, you know, some of the collectors may not want, but actually, I think if it does become mass market and like it's available to everyone, the kind of older Yeezy stuff that collectors may have now would become even rarer. Because it's kind of like, you know, I have limited edition Yeezy stuff before it went mainstream. But it'll be interesting, right? Because, you know, you look at like some of the recent Yeezy stuff, like the basketball shoe, the flip, you know, the sliders they made. That they look a bit strange.
Very.
They're not as, you know, like the old like 350s were very, you know, they were like very. They could be worn by most people, right? And most people could pull them off. Whereas some of these new ones, like,
that confidence level's got to be there, isn't it?
you got to be quite edgy to wear them. And I'll be interested to see what avenue this whole Gap partnership goes down. Whether it goes down a very kind of unique and individual look, or whether it kind of, you know, is just like, you know, appeals to the masses. So it'll be really interesting to see how that relationship happens. I think it's like a 10-year partnership they've agreed.
Yeah, man, 10 years.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens in terms of sales, as well as like the types of clothing they produce. So, but yeah, like, you know, we'll see more Yeezy stuff, right? That can only be a good thing.